Hey guys, welcome to Carnivorous Plant Hub. Today I'm bringing you another update on my Venus flytrap flower stalk propagation attempt. I'm actually starting to have a little more success now, so I'm actually really excited to bring you guys this video. Real quick before we do that though, I wanted to let you guys know that I actually created a playlist for all the flower stalk propagation attempts that I have here from my day one video. I think this is my fourth video, my update. So make sure and check out that entire playlist so you guys can see exactly this entire process. I kind of document everything. And then at the end of this, I'm going to create another video just showing you exactly what I did and what worked best, so that you guys can maybe grow some Venus flytraps from your flower stalks that you cut. But also real quick guys, I just wanted to thank you for being here. Appreciate you supporting my channel. I've had a few more people subscribing lately and I appreciate it so much. It truly does mean a lot to me. It really inspires and motivates me to keep creating these and keep you guys updated, especially in videos like this where I'm excited to bring you some progress, which I'll be showing you here in just a second. But this propagation attempt is actually becoming a lot more successful than I thought it was going to be. But thank you guys so much for liking the video, subscribing, all that. As you probably know, I'm trying really hard to start my own carnivorous plant nursery here someday. And all of this is for me to learn and understand these plants a little bit better in the region that I live in now. So again, thank you so much for your support. Without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at these flower stalks that I have propagating in here and see what we got going on. So let's go ahead and do this one first. If you remember from my last video, my last update, this was the first one I had where I actually had something happen. We had a couple of little nodes coming off of one of the flower stalks, and then maybe just a little bit happening on another one, but it looks like I'm getting more and more to take here. So let's go ahead and jump. I'm going to take this off completely, and let's go ahead and jump to this one first, because this was the one in the last video that was actually the first one that I had any success with. So let's go ahead and show you guys where this one's at, so you can see it there. See if I can get it a little bit closer. There we go. You guys can see that they're really starting to take off now. They're actually starting to look like plants, as opposed to just little nodes. Oh, I tried to go a little closer. Let's see. There we go. So you can see they're really starting to take off. They're doing really, really well. You can see I have a little bit of sphagnum moss growing over there too, which is kind of cool. You can see that there's actually some sprouts coming off of there. They're starting to look more formed, which is pretty neat. This guy over here was the one that we were kind of unsure of. It was starting to grow a little bit, but I wasn't sure if it was actually going to take. But you can see there that they're definitely starting to grow a little better. And last time in my last video, those were the only two that were really doing anything. And then now, if you come over here, you can see that this one is starting to take off a little bit too. You can see them kind of coming off of the side there. And I think this one may have been doing something last time. I just didn't notice it because they're kind of shooting from the bottom and off to the side instead of coming off of the top. And I've been trying not to touch these too much. Although I'm going to be kind of moving some stuff around today just to show you guys, give you guys a good view, especially with some of these ones that are still in the ground, just to kind of show you guys what it looks like when it's inside of the ground. I don't think this one had anything going on, so let's bring this one up real quick. Actually, I'm going to switch hands here real quick because that side is where the light is, so let's go ahead and do this here. Yeah, you can see nothing really going on with this one. There's just some dirt there. So this one over here though, I think this little guy here, let's bring you over here. Let me show you this little guy here. Yeah, you can see there's, I'm trying to get that to focus for you. There's definitely some nodes coming off of that. These ones are harder to see though because they're not just laying down flat. Most of the growth that's happening is actually inside of the ground. So I think at some point I might just lay these down, just because it's so much harder to see what's going on, and I think that they grow a little bit better when they're not. See, that one doesn't have anything. Let's check this one here. Oh, you can see that one's got some really nice, I don't know if you can see that very good, but there's some nodes coming off. That looks like it's just dirty, but all that dirt there, most of that dirt's catching on, or most of that is catching on one of the nodes that are actually taking and starting to grow. So this one actually has some really good growth on it too. Hopefully you'll be able to see that better than I can see it through the camera. But so yeah, so you can see just about all of it here. Most of them are actually growing something. This one right here is really exciting. That one's really cool because those ones are really popping up there. So it looks like we're definitely going to have some baby fly traps in here. Probably soon we'll probably be able to see them start actually developing some actual traps. I know from a very young age you can actually see them developing traps, and we're going to go ahead now. Let's take a look at my other one here. I'm going to set this one aside for just a minute. Actually, real quick guys, though, one thing I did want to call out with this setup here is this is the setup that I would go with. I've had to do very little in terms of keeping this moist. This is it's a cut-off flower pot inside of like a Tupperware, and it kind of fits down there and just perfect. And what I do is I fill up the sides with water all the way up to just about the brim of the flower pot, and it keeps this completely wet. I keep a piece of saran wrap over it, and it's kind of like a dome, so it keeps it wet down inside of there, and it really has worked well. It's this wet all the time. I don't spray this ever. I don't ever top water this one. This one is just kept this wet from the bottom water, and I just keep a little bit of water inside of the tub. So this does a really good job of sort of keeping itself wet without me really needing to do much. This is really kind of a nice set it and forget it setup. Not completely forget it, but like you can not check this for a week and it'll still be soaking wet when you come to check it. So this is probably the setup to go with. Also, one thing to know is I don't have any perlite in here. I had a couple stragglers in there, but the perlite makes it really difficult sometimes for you to get the flower stalk to lay down into the ground really well, which is kind of annoying. But so I would do just the peat moss with this. You don't need to do the perlite or the silica sand, just the peat for this part of it. And then once you decide that your fly traps are big enough to replant, that's when you can replant them into the peat perlite mix. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and check out this other one here. So I pulled this one off. And you can actually see this one is starting to get some nodes on it too. Right there. I don't know how well those are coming up, but you can see that there's definitely some nodes right along this side here that are starting to grow. Ironically, these ones were in here probably a week before this one over here, but that one's growing a lot faster, I think, because of the conditions. This one's taking a lot longer. Let me see if I have anything growing out of this guy. Oh yeah, see, this one's definitely got some nice growth nodes coming out of it too, so that's gonna probably produce something. So that's doing pretty well. And I don't think this one here is going to do anything, and then this little curled up one here I'm not sure is going to do anything either, just because it's a little bit harder and it's not as green, but we'll see. And then on the other side, guys, this was like a major shock to me when I opened this up this morning and looked at this, because I actually have a little fly trap that's developed here that has shot right out of the top of a flower stalk. You can see that there's actually some traps on there. I was hoping I can get a little bit closer, but I'm gonna have to back up a little bit. So you can see there. So this one is really interesting because if you watch my last video, you'll notice that this one wasn't doing anything. And actually this one, these two here, were actually one that was sticking out of the bottom. Or I'm sorry, sticking straight up as opposed to one that was laying down. And I decided to try to maximize my efforts to cut it in half and lay them both down. And I checked this one about a week later after doing that, and lo and behold, there was definitely some fly trap action on there. That's growing right out of the top of a flower stalk. You can see, if you look at just above there, those black things, those are the actual flowers. So this is right out of a flower stalk. I think one of the mistakes that I made is all my flower stalks, like this one here, you can see I stuck those all up so that they would flower. And maybe that's not a mistake. Maybe you do let them flower, and then as soon as they're done flowering, you pull them out and then you lay them down, because that's what I did with this one, and it by far has the best growth on it. This is actually a little fly trap plant, and this one didn't have any growth on it the last time that I did this. So what you're seeing here is that this one's growing much more rapid than the other ones are. You see these ones are just nodes, and even over there there's some growth, but it's nothing like this one. And this happened much quicker. So I think laying down the top of the flower and into the peat moss like that actually really helped it grow a little bit faster. It seems like the top of the flower grew this portion better. But yeah, so that's where I'm at, guys. I brought this update to you guys a lot sooner than I normally do. This is about 2 weeks out. My last one was on March 2nd, and I think today is the 5th. So I'll probably bring and I just wanted to bring this update to you because there's kind of a lot happening, especially with this guy growing. and seeing all the new growth. I wanted to make sure you guys saw this update to maybe motivate you guys to cut your flower stalks and maybe start your own little projects and see if you can grow some of your own fly traps. But yeah, I'll continue to update you guys. I have a feeling that now that these ones over here are taking off as well, that we're gonna start seeing some growth like we're seeing on that one here pretty soon. It's not nearly as cool after seeing that other one. That's why I did this one first. But yeah, I think that we should be seeing some really good growth here pretty soon out of these guys, much like this little fly trap that sprouted up. So this is definitely working, guys. When I get around to it, I'm really busy right now, but I'm gonna actually do like a complete how-to video. This has been kind of more of experimentation and trial and error, but what I'm gonna do now is I've learned a ton, and I think I know a little bit more about how to do this, especially in my conditions with low humidity. I'm gonna do another video when this is all said and done. It just kind of shows you guys exactly step by step how to do this to maximize your efforts and to maximize the results of getting the fly traps to grow. So definitely want to subscribe to the channel. Make sure to hit the bell icon so you guys can get some updates on these plants as well as all my other plants. I got Nepenthes, Sarracenia, Venus flytraps, all sundews, all different kinds of carnivorous plants for you guys to check out. And I'll be posting updates as soon as often as possible. I don't usually do updates this quick. Usually I like to wait 30 days, but this is a little bit different of a scenario than just watching a plant grow. This is a propagation attempt. So hopefully you guys found this useful. Maybe this is enough information for you guys to go out and start propagating your own flower stalks and trying out some stuff in your own area, and you guys can start getting some of your own Venus flytraps to grow. But if you guys have any questions about any of this, hit me up in the comments. I try to answer all of my questions. I try to respond to all my comments. It's just I really appreciate all you guys out there so much who subscribe to my channel and liking my videos. I try to do as much as I can to continue to communicate and talk to my community. So thanks a lot, guys, and I'll probably have another update here in another week or so. So yeah, we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.